So in the previous class, we had a discussion about the design of FIR filters. So here concept is involved with the characteristics of practical frequency selective filters. Then we had a discussion about symmetric and anti-symmetric FIR filters. And today we are going to discuss about how to design linear phase FIR filters using different windows concepts. Okay. After that, we can go for how to design using frequency sampling methods. So there are many methods to design FIR filters, but your syllabus is going to cover only two concepts. One is using windows and using frequency sampling method. We go for the structure of FIR filters. So what we are going to have the discussion in the design concept, how we can implement those things. That is the structure. So here we have direct form, cascade and lattice structures. So we begin with the characters of practical frequency selective filters. So here we are concentrating on how the filter performance is there. Means the characteristics of that particular filter based on frequency selection. Okay. And we have discussion on the particular concept. We are going to talk about what is the magnitude characteristics. So what are the phenomena involved in these filters? Okay, it may be in any state. So what are the state behaviors of that particular filter? Okay, it has pass band ripples, stop band ripples, as well as there is a transition band. So we have pass band frequency, stop band frequency, and the bandwidth of the filter. And here the bandwidth, the characteristics, it is going to talk about what is the bandwidth of the filter. So the bandwidth of the filter, it is nothing but the pass band width. So the total, the signal is allowed pass through this filter. So that frequency, the set of frequency is known as bandwidth of the filter. And what are the ripples? What are the maximum and minimum amplitude of that particular ripple? Okay, so those things we had a discussion. And we went through how to calculate the ripple calculation. It is for pass band, it is 20 log delta 1 to the base 10, and for stop band, the ripple it is calculated as 20 log of delta 2 to the base 10. Then we go for symmetric and anti-symmetric FIR filters. So here in the symmetricity, so what we are going to happen? So here the FIR filter, it is described with a difference equation. So y of n is equal to coefficient of x with delay. Okay, if the length of the filter it is capital M. Then we had some discussion about the equations with respect to if M is even and M is odd. So what is the response? So with respect to that symmetricity, we had a discussion about the characteristic response, impulse response. It is for real, it is HR of omega, or the general it is H of omega. And the phase characteristic, it is theta omega for M, and for M is equal to odd and M is equal to even. And we discuss about the design of linear phase FIR filters using windows. So in this method, we begin with the desired frequency response specifications. So instead of going for general equation of frequency response characteristic, that is H of omega, we are going for desired. So required frequency response from a filter. So that is denoted as HD of omega. And determine the corresponding unit sample response. Unit sample response of the filter, it is HD of M. Okay, the desired frequency response is capital HD of omega, and the corresponding unit sample response is of the system is small hd of n. So the small hd of n is related to capital HD of omega by Fourier transform relation that is given by, or you may say it is a DFT. So a capital HD of omega, that is a frequency response of this desired frequency response, is nothing but DFT of sample response of the filter. So it is capital HD of omega is nothing but DFT of that signal. That is n is equal to 0 to Fourier transform infinity the sample response HD of n e to the power minus j omega n, where the HD of n, the unit sample response, by using IDFT, we can get the inverse Fourier transform. It is HD of n is equals to 1 by 2 pi integration minus infinity to minus pi to pi with the limits HD of omega e to the power j omega n d omega. So that is nothing but what? Here we are going to have the equation for this desired frequency response or corresponding unit sample response. So thus, given the frequency response, we can determine the unit sample response by evaluating the integration of this frequency response capital HD of omega. So in general, the unit sample response HD of n obtained from this equation, small HD of n unit sample response obtained from the frequency response, that is capital HD of omega, is infinite in duration and must be truncated at some point. Say at n is equal to particular point. Instead of going for infinite, here in this equation, the summation, the Fourier transform is going to lead with infinite. So instead of going for infinite duration, if we truncated at some point, say m minus 1 points, or you may say the length of this sequence is m itself, then the n duration is up to m minus 1 to yield an FIR filter of length m. So the truncation of HD of n, small HD of n, to a length of m minus 1 is nothing but it is multiplying HD of n by rectangular window. So here we begin with the window concepts. So the first concept there is about rectangular window, where the W of n, which is given by 1, means there is a window, particular window. Within that window, the function will be running. Outside that window, it is going to give 0 results. Okay. So how we are going to, means the response from the system, it is for the selected frequency, desired frequency. It will be available within that window. Okay. Outside the window, there is no response from the filter. So that concept here we are going to discuss. So for the length m minus 1, the HD of n, it is multiplied by omega, W of n, which is given by, which is the value of W of n, it is 1 for the duration n ranges from 0 to m minus 1. It is a window. Okay, outside that window, that is nothing but with the above lesser than 0 and above m minus 1, it is going to give the result as 0. So 0 into multiplied with HD of n with the impulse sample response. Answer is 0 itself. So within that window, if we multiply HD of n with value 1, answer means what? HD of n itself. So therefore, the unit sample response of an FIR filter has the equation h of n is nothing but a desired sample response into another signal is W of n. So we know the behavior of this W of n, which is lies within that length. The length is m. Okay, outside that length, it will be 0. So therefore, we can write the equation h of n, which is nothing but HD of n for the duration n is ranging from 0 to m minus 1, and the sample response or the impulse response of the system is 0 otherwise. Okay. So it is effective to consider the effect of the window function on the desired frequency response. So what it is going to give? The window function, it is going to give the effect for the desired frequency response, that is HD of omega. So the multiplication of the window function is nothing but what? W of n with sample response, desired sample response, HD of n is equivalent to convolution of HD of omega with capital W of omega, where capital W of omega is the frequency domain representation, that is Fourier transform of the window function. So here different windows are going to have different characteristics. So here for the rectangular, we have, yes, the rectangular window, what we can say, it has only two states, 0 or 1. So within the range, the value window will be available. Outside the range, no window. So that is 0. So this type of window function. So this is one function. W of n is one function where it is going to give value as 1 as 0. Only two values it is going to return. With respect to other windows, where what we are going to learn in future, so those windows have different window functions. Those window functions are multiplied with the desired sample response, HD of n, which is going to give the overall frequency response of the system. So how we are going to calculate the Fourier transform of the window function, that is capital W of omega, which is given by capital W of omega is nothing but, once again, obviously it is the DFT of the W of n. So which is given by summation n is equal to 0 to m minus 1 W of n e to the power minus j omega n. So we always depend on the DFT itself. Okay. So thus the convolution of HD of omega with capital W of omega yields the frequency response of the FIR filter, which is given by the convolution equation, that is capital H of W is equals to 1 by 2 pi integration of with limits minus pi to pi HD of V W of omega minus V dV. Okay, for the convolution, the number of shifts, number of samples, we need to consider it is V samples. Okay, the Fourier transform of the rectangular window, it is given by capital W of omega is equals to summation n is equal to m minus 1 e to the power minus j omega n, because in this duration n is equal to 0 to m minus 1, the Wn is replaced with value 1. Okay, outside that limit it is 0. So I am just replacing Wn by 1, hence the equation is going to be called reduced to e to the power minus j omega n. And we can go for the simplification by using the mathematical standard equations for such summations. So it is given by 1 minus e to the power minus j omega capital M divided by 1 minus e to the power minus j omega, or another method by using mathematical steps, it may be reduced to e to the power minus j omega m minus 1 by 2 into sine omega m by 2 divided by sine of omega by 2. So these are nothing but the use of mathematical standard equations to reduce the given complex equation. This window function has magnitudes and phase factors, which are given by the magnitude of the window function. Capital W of omega is magnitude of sine omega m by 2 divided by magnitude of sine omega by 2 between the duration, the omega, the frequency angular frequency between minus pi to pi. Okay, and the linear phase of the window, it is theta omega, it is given by minus of omega m minus 1 by 2 for sine omega m by 2, okay, which is greater than or equal to 0. If this term sine omega m by 2 is less than 0, then the angle, the phase will be minus of omega m minus 1 by 2 plus pi. Okay. So you can observe, if you go for the frequency, as you are go on applying the frequency, the magnitude values are going to given for different m values. It is the graph is going to illustrate what is the magnitude response, okay, for this frequency. So magnitude for different frequencies, it is m equal to 31 and m is equal to 61. Okay, both are odd numbers. The frequency response is given by, for a rectangular window, it will be like this. So for various windows, okay, here what we are going to do, we are going to design one window. Within that window, we are just calculating what is the filter frequency response, FIR filter frequency response with magnitude and phase. Okay, so here we are going to have introduction of some windows. There are so many windows, but here we are going to summarize to only 4. It is rectangular window. How the window function is there. This one is multiplied with HD of n. To go for this one, here this is the final response, frequency response of the FIR filter. H of n is equal to HD of n into window function W of n. So here rectangular window Wn, it is given by, for rectangular window, the window function, it is nothing but what? Wn is nothing but 1 for the duration 0 to n. Okay, the length of the filter. Otherwise, it is 0. Similarly, for the length of the filter, here the Hanning window. The Hanning window function is going to give, for the given length, the value of the window function is 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5 cos of 2 pi n by capital N. Okay. If you say the previous discussion is about m, so we consider m here. So we can replace n by m in all these iterations. Okay, replace n by m minus 1. Okay, so 0 to m minus 1, 0 to m minus 1. We just replace n by m minus 1, because in the previous all discussion we have discussion of m length. So they are using a different label, it is n. So we just concentrate on the replacement of n by m minus 1. So if I go for replacement of m minus 1, the Hanning window has the window function for the duration 0 to m minus 1. Instead of n, you may say it is m minus 1. It will be what? 0.5 minus of 0.5 cos of 2 pi n divided by m minus 1 it is. M minus 1, else it will be 0. Similarly, another window named as Hanning window. The Hanning window is going to give the omega n Wn, it is 0.54. 0.54 minus of 0.46 cos of 2 pi n divided by m minus 1. Divided by m minus 1. Otherwise, outside the window, the answer of the function is 0. Similarly, another one is there, Blackman. Blackman window, it is going to give a window function as between the duration 0 to m minus 1. There also it is m minus 1. So this one, the duration is m minus 1 up to m minus 1. It is 0.42 minus of 0.5 cos 2 pi by n divided by m minus 1 plus 0.08 cos 4 pi n divided by m minus 1. So outside the window, it is 0. Okay. So these things you need to buy it because these are the direct equations for window functions. Okay. Once again, there is no background of these window calculations. Okay. It is just an introduction. What are the windows are there and window functions. Okay. Then if you want to look the response of the filter, it will be like this. For rectangular window, for different m values, m equal to 31 and m equal to 61, we have these magnitude values for different frequencies. Okay. Similarly, the Hanning window is going to give this equation. This is the filter operation with respect to frequency. And if you go for another one is a Hamming window, it will be like this. So you can observe here. What about the magnitudes? The rectangular window give the magnitude values. Similarly, the Hanning window or Hamming window, then Blackman windows. Blackman windows. Constant and ripple variations. Okay, rectangular window for different m values. You can observe there is a small variation with respect to the magnitude. What about here? More variations are there. If you consider m is equal to 61, the bottom line what I am drawing, you can observe here it is ranging from nearly minus 45 above up to minus 100. What about here? It is ranging in between minus 45 nearby. The rectangular window and Hanning window. If I compare with this one once again, the Hamming window. What about here? If your desired magnitude is 50 minus 50, yes, it is approximate for value of any value of m. Similarly here, what about here? Blackman. Once again, there is a huge variation in the amplitudes. Okay. So this is about window functions, a frequency response of several window functions. They are going to ask write the equation for FIR filter window functions. So what you need to do, you need to begin with this concept. Okay, design of linear phase FIR filters. We just explain these things, equations, how we are calculating. And show graph like okay. It is frequency. It is in experiment number 7. You come to know. So how all these windows will be available. Okay. In that experiment number 7, you are going to draw what is the magnitude and phase also. Here it is shown only magnitude. What about the phase factor? That is theta omega. So how it will look like? What is the graph of that one in the 7th experiment? So we'll discuss that one in the 7th experiment itself. Instead of window method, if we go for frequency sampling method. So if you go for the sampling of the frequency, so taking omega, if we take the sample of that omega, that is omega k. What you can illustrate here, you can observe here. Okay, so here h of omega we know. So if I take the sample of this omega, instead of going for all the frequency values, if I take only selected frequency values, that is omega k. So how the filter will be designed? So in the frequency sample method for FIR filter design, we specify the desired frequency response, that is HD of omega, at a set of equally spaced frequencies. Obviously, whenever we are performing the sampling concept, we concentrate on equally spaced elements, equally spaced frequencies, or equally spaced timing. So here we are once again concentrating on equally spaced frequencies, which are given by omega k is equals to 2 pi by m into k plus alpha, where k is ranging from, for m is equal to odd and m is equal to even. So for m is equal to odd, k is 0 to capital M minus 1 by 2, and m is equal to even, it is k ranges from 0 to m by 2 minus 1, where alpha constant, it is having value 0 or 0.5, 0 or 0.5, and solve for the unit sample response h of n of the FIR filter from these equally spaced frequency specifications. To simplify the computation, it uses a basic symmetry property of the sampled frequency response function. So let us begin with the desired frequency response of the FIR filter, which is given by, we know already this one, it is a capital H of omega is the summation n is equal to 0 to m minus 1 h of n e to the power minus j omega n. Then what we need to do here? So we need to, instead of taking omega, let us take equally spaced frequency calculation, that is given by h of selected frequencies, nothing but k plus alpha, k plus alpha frequency values, which is equals to h of 2 pi by m into k plus omega. I'm just replacing omega by this equation, that's it. Omega by this equation, that is 2 pi by m into k plus alpha. So therefore, h of k plus alpha is nothing but summation n is equal to 0 to m minus 1 h of n e to the power minus j omega n is it. We just replace that one by what? It is 2 pi by m k plus alpha into n, where k ranges from 0 to m minus 1, considering both even and odd sequences. Okay, so total length of the response is, the filter it is m length. So the response of this one is given by h of k plus alpha for the duration 0 to m minus 1. So it is a simple matter to invert and express h of n in terms of hk plus alpha. Hk plus alpha. So what is the inverse of this capital Hk of alpha? So what we are going to get? We are going to get sample response. Okay. So which is given by, if we multiply both sides by the exponential term j 2 pi km by m, where m is 0 to m minus 1. Okay, if you take the inverse of this equation, we are going to get what? H of n is, we know, we are familiar with this equation, it is 1 by m, IDFT you may say it is 1 by m summation k ranges from 0 to m minus 1 hk plus alpha is e to the power minus j 2 pi k plus alpha by n divided by m. Okay, if you say it is the DFT of h of n, then IDFT of h of k plus alpha is nothing but h of n. So since h of n is real, we can easily show that the frequency samples, that is capital H of k plus alpha, satisfy this symmetry condition. What is the symmetry condition? H of k plus alpha is nothing but complex conjugate of H m minus k minus alpha. M minus k of k plus alpha. Okay, so this minus, if you open this bracket, k minus alpha, it will be what? M minus k minus alpha. So this symmetry function, obviously we know for the selected frequency samples, these samples go on. Okay, that is the symmetric condition. So up to m, after m, up to m it is h of k plus alpha. After, for every m elements, it is nothing but what? Complex conjugate of that element. So this symmetric condition along with the symmetric condition of h of n can be used to reduce the frequency specification from m points to m plus 1 by 2 points for m odd and m by 2 points for m is even. So obviously what we know, so if I go for the long sequence, so the half, the first half is equal to the complex conjugate of second half, or you may say the second half elements, okay, are just a complex conjugate of first half. Okay, so thus the linear equation for determining the sample response from the frequency response are considered simplified. So in particular, if it is sampled at a frequency Wk is equals to 2 pi k plus alpha by m, we may obtain for the real terms, it is h of k plus alpha, which is equals to the real values of h, that is hr of 2 pi by m k plus alpha into e to the power j beta pi by 2 minus 2 pi k plus alpha into m minus 1 overall divided by 2 m, where beta is 0, then the sample response is symmetric, and beta is 1 when it is anti-symmetric. Okay. So a simplification occurs by defining a set of real frequency samples. Real frequency samples, we donate those real frequency samples as capital G of k plus m. So we can get the gk plus alpha is nothing but minus 1 to the power k. It is real frequency samples, it is hr 2 pi by m k plus alpha. So we can use these two things in above equation. If I use gk plus alpha, we may get the overall sampled frequencies. H of k plus alpha is nothing but g of k plus alpha into e to the power j pi k into e to the power the remaining exponential value, that is e to the power j beta pi by 2 minus 2 pi k plus alpha m minus 1 by 2 m. So this is what based on frequency sampling methods. Okay, so this one is the equation what we are going to desire. So what is the sample frequency response? With respect to window, it is h of n is equal to hr of omega plus hd of omega plus into window function. But here it is frequencies we are going to talk about. So we are going to concentrate on the selected frequencies. Okay. Then the frequency sampling method provides another means for designing linear phase FIR filters, and its major advantage lies in the efficient frequency sampling structures, which is obtained when most of the frequency samples are 0. Okay. So it is going to work efficiently when more frequency samples are 0. So this is the today's session. So here in today's session, we discussed about how we can design a FIR filter based on the window functions as well as the sampling the frequencies. So most of the question paper they have asked based on this window concept only. So how we can do this approximate filter by using different window functions. So in the next class, we deal with these concepts. The direct form, how we can structure, and cascaded form and the type structures. So we are going to end today's session.